Ms. Joan Pereira.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, this topic is very close to my heart. With our rapidly aging population and longer life expectancies, it is important that we strive to help our seniors live good quality of lives for as long as possible. These should be years in good mental, physical, and emotional health, during which they will be free to work productively and outside their interests. Sir, in Mandarin, 我们都希望身体健康。我国政府一直鼓励新加坡人过健康的生活，为他们的晚年打下坚实的基础。我们通过非常实惠的健康检查，协助国人监测他们的健康状况，加强后的定期体检、一宁医生计划，为40岁以上的合格新加坡人提供5块以下的健康检测，建国一代则免费。我想请问卫生部，到目前为止，有多少年长者在这项计划下进行了身体检查？我们如何鼓励得到不利检查结果的国民去做更多检查，并求诊治疗？良好的健康意味着更好的生活质量。健康状况良好的乐龄人士，能做在年轻时候就能做的几乎所有的事情，如散步、吃饭、旅游、社交和参加各种活动。但我们可以做得更多。我们应该对适合老年人的适当运动和饮食进行公众教育。要做到这一点，我们需要有区别的平台，让他们有效地参与。我们是否可以推行以老人常见病为目标的计划？例如，对于糖尿病患者来说，什么运动对他们最好？这些练习如何帮助降低血糖和体重？这些练习可以在图表上说明并分发给他们，这样他们就可以在家做练习了。我们老年人的心理健康是另一个令人关注的领域。预计到2030年，患有老年痴呆症的人数将翻倍，老年痴呆症的患病率约为60岁及以上老年人的18%左右。我们必须提高公众意识，社会得接受老年人的心理健康问题，以便能够及早发现和治疗。我期待着看到更多像伊顺和麦弗森这些支持并体恤痴呆症患者的社区。我们可以看看如何让老年痴呆症患者当地养老，因为这可以减轻他们的压力。医疗账单是老年人最关注的问题之一。我敦促卫生部在我们的综合诊所和公共医院的补贴治疗中，包括更多的精神疾病。我也希望政府能考虑为低收入人士提供更多社保援助计划 （CHAS） 的福利。Back in English, sir. I support the recommendations by the ElderShield Review Committee. However, the name of the scheme, ElderShield, seems incompatible. This is essentially a disability insurance scheme. I would like to suggest the government consider updating its name to reflect the intended benefits and coverage more effectively. Work and employment. If our seniors desire, they can and should continue to work. We should not always think that our elderly cannot catch up. While there will be individuals who experience greater challenges, we must also see them as progressive and willing to embrace lifelong learning. There are many shining examples in every sector and industry. With the latter mindset, we will realize that our seniors are people who can still contribute to our economy and make their mark in society. For example, there was an 81-year-old nurse who was featured in the Straits Times last year. There are many like her in my constituency in Henderson, Dawson, still going very strong. It is good to see them progress too. Such seniors should be lauded for their care towards others, and the government should work out a scheme to help them advance in their passions and careers. I'm happy that the re-employment age had been raised. I hope that eventually age will no longer be a consideration and we focus on an employee's capability. The digital gap. Many seniors had told me that they feel left behind in our environment of rapid digitalization. They are especially uncomfortable with the initiatives to go cashless. Even in e-banking, they expressed reservations. Many are so used to the passbook to monitor their debit and credit that the electronic bank statement to them is a problem. Communications via applications such as WhatsApp and emails, going online to obtain information and perform transactions, are not easily grasped by a significant portion of our seniors. Part of the reason is the language gap. Many of our seniors are not literate or fluent in English. If there are applications and websites in mother tongue such as Chinese and Malay, I believe it would help tremendously. There are physiological problems when they use smartphones. The font sizes are small, and it is not easy for elderly persons to read the small text and to scroll up and down. Navigating the various icons to get to what they want is a challenge. Many complain that the touch screens do not respond well to their drier fingertips, and pain in their finger joints are another problem. 20 years ago, there was some resistance to ATMs. However, adaptations went relatively smoothly. This was because these machines pose fewer physical challenges. The font sizes are big. Users can choose the language of communication, and very importantly, these big installations can be trusted because they have been set up by banks. On the other hand, transactions on smartphones or online are unsettling to our seniors because they are not quite sure if their monies are flowing to the right accounts or parties. Frequent news about scams online also make them very nervous. We have to address all our seniors' concerns through holistic measures, customized education, and familiarization programs. Volunteerism. More of our seniors should be encouraged to volunteer as part of active aging. This is an activity which allows the elderly to stay engaged in the community and derive a sense of satisfaction from giving back, and in turn enable the community to tap upon their wisdom and years of rich experience. Research has also shown that elderly who have meaningful relationships and are engaged in their communities are happier and healthier. Volunteering gives them a deep sense of purpose. However, getting our seniors to volunteer on a sustainable basis may not be easy. To attract them beyond one-off projects and come out of their comfort zones on a sustainable basis requires greater logistical planning and financial support from the community. Hence, I would like to propose time banking to draw more elderly to our community volunteering programs. For example, every hour of volunteering clocked by participating seniors can be deposited, accumulated, and exchanged for free or discounted People's Association courses. It can be extended later to include other parties, including individuals, through platforms which allow bartering of services. In addition to recruiting and attracting seniors, we should also design programs such that our younger generation can be involved. This will promote intergenerational bonding. The MOE and the PA can continue to assist by facilitating the arrangements between schools and senior groups. I hope that MOH will consider implementing community network for seniors to all constituencies. It's useful and helpful because it brings together Pioneer Generation ambassadors to coordinate various support services for senior citizens. It also provides an opportunity for seniors to volunteer, with 40% of the ambassadors aged 60 and above. Volunteers can play a big role to engage socially isolated elderly. In reaching out to them, they not only bring light and warmth to them, they also assist beleaguered families and relief caregivers. Due to the increasing number of those aging and those who will be isolated when they become less mobile, it is not feasible to just depend on trained personnel. The community must be involved to complement the reach of social workers and medical health workers. Initiatives that organize neighbors, volunteers, and activists to be befrienders and to reach out to the socially isolated seniors are beneficial to our elderly. When we visit them regularly, we keep them engaged and tend to their emotional well-being. We are also more likely to find out about their issues early and deal with their healthcare and emotional concerns early. Such initiatives strengthen neighborliness as we actively look out for one another. Senior caregiving. There are already initiatives to provide more support to caregivers. However, with smaller family sizes and more double-income households, it is inevitable that increasingly families will have to entrust the important responsibility of caregiving to professionals. We have no alternative but to continue work on boosting the capability and capacity of our professional caregiving sector. The MOH is tapping on retired nurses who can be re-engaged on a casual basis. Building up this network of retired medical professionals will complement what our healthcare community can offer. I would like to ask MOH, what is the proportion of retired nurses involved in this initiative? We should also explore how services at our elder care centers can be augmented to include short-term accommodation for seniors whose caregivers are temporarily unavailable due to illness, work, or travel overseas. I appeal again to the government to legislate elder care leave and bereavement leave. This would be very much appreciated for family emergencies involving the elderly. Movement and access. Lastly, I want to touch on physical accessibility for all seniors. Barrier-free access has mostly been achieved in our heartlands, and I really would like to see the same in the designs of our HDB flats. They should be flats for life, accessible for the elderly, which incidentally would also be accessible for the disabled and families with young children. Floors should be leveled, switches and sockets repositioned, doors, bathrooms, and toilets should be widened to enable wheelchair movements. For our public transport, I hope directional signs and notices have bigger fonts against high contrast backgrounds to make them easier to read. In conclusion, most of us here will enjoy the fortune of living longer and healthier years than any of our preceding generations. Thanks to the efforts of our elders, we reap the fruits of their labor. Let us work together to provide them with the best care they deserve in their golden years. I conclude with my support for the motion, sir. Thank you.